the media has not been a very, very good ally. But also the media itself has been a promoter of gender inequality. You see, media looks at the outside and reports on the outside and critiques the outside. But when you look at media inside, there's a problem. And so increasingly we are challenging ourselves that for us to truly speak for these inequalities, we have to start home. When you look at some of the highest sexual offenses, they come from media houses where trainees are taken advantage of because you work those unholy hours. Sometimes people want to take advantage. You even rape you. We have cases where you're coming out of a studio and someone bounces you and things like that because the place is dark and things like that. So the question is, what has the media done itself apart from reporting other women speak about gender inequality on Women's Day? Why can't we mainstream speaking about gender and talk about it every day as an agenda setter? I remember, for instance, the Vision Group had this campaign where it was talking about Save Lake Victoria. And they did a campaign on how to save Lake Victoria. Yes? Why can't we do the same for saving women, for pushing for equal pay? Why can't media houses themselves give women equal pay? Most women will tell you female journalists earn less than their male counterparts if they're doing the same kind of job. Media has that benefit of shaping narrative, but you'll find the way we write, we are promoting. We are the first to write an article critiquing a woman presidential candidate who's dressed badly, who's had hair, but men are normally not judged by those standards. We look at the sense the man is making, his manifesto. Women, they look at how you're dressing, the shoe you're wearing, your hairstyle. The last two presidential campaigns we had in Uganda, we had women representatives. But even in those women pullouts, her vision, full woman, we were not documenting these women. Instead, the usual anti-agony, how do you make your man happier? How do you make your husband? How do you help your husband through depression? Nothing about these female candidates and what they're bringing to the table. Even those who seem very intelligent, it was always about whose wife, whose girlfriend, is she seeing someone's husband, and these are the women you want to make presidents and how they are dressing. So the standards that media uses to judge women and men are different. And it's a representation of the religion and culture that they are a product of. When you look at the language and content, sometimes you see subtle language that is not gender sensitive. Sometimes you see deliberate language that actually seeks to insult women, you know? So even the media has to work on its language. Sometimes there are missed opportunities. Sometimes when you look at sources, they only source men about a subject that cuts across. Even a subject that affects women, it is men who are the experts. We never see female suspects. Actually, when you pick a random newspaper in Uganda or listen to a radio or television in Uganda, you'd think Uganda's population constitutes of 90% men and 10% women. And yet the most recent census still shows that women are more than men in Uganda. So the media also has a job to mainstream the way it speaks about gender and not make it reactionary. When it's 16 days of activism in December, then we are talking about women and gender and inequality. When it's Women's Day, Women's Month, the month of March. Now we are ending April. We've ended April. We're entering May. If you just pick up the April newspaper and the March newspaper, you see every media house was trying to be representative, gender sensitive, and mindful to these issues, especially beyond those statements of your gender sensitive. How are they actually providing for women and men? Are they even gender sensitive? I work in an infrastructure setting. We set up lines. There's the oil pipeline. We mine and things like that. How are we addressing gender issues in these infrastructure projects? When we build the line, we even do CSR of wiring houses. Do we look out for security lighting in the night? Because most women are attacked in the dark. Women cook from outside, they bathe from outside in these rural areas. But a man will wear his sitting room and bedroom, which are his spaces.
but the kitchen outside is not wired, the bathroom outside is not wired. But if women share the stories, a lot of women are raped in those outside bathrooms in the dark by men lurking around. People are attacked in those outside kitchens. You, the man, you're here watching your TV now, you have electricity. You're only worried. Hey, you people, you're not cooking, yeah? You know, but these are realities for women. So we must also ensure the security lighting. The kitchen outside has light, the bathroom outside has light, the security lighting outside, not just in the spaces that are convenient for men. So for me as a media person, this is how you should challenge this infrastructure project. You claim you're gender sensitive. In this meeting, why do we only have men? If you said it's a community meeting, you're teaching health and safety, you're teaching how to use electricity, where are the women? When you call a community meeting, you've called it at a time when women are expected to be cooking. Do we look at a woman's domestic schedule? You should put this meeting on a Sunday afternoon after church, where women can actually be available and attend to these issues.